Ooh, that is really loud. Hi, everybody. How's it going? So, this is Monday, July 10th, and this is my first ever video blog. So, I'm doing this for myself. Let me start with that. I don't know if this is going to be interesting to anybody that isn't me, but I'm going to do it anyway because one of the things that I've learned is that my mental health is important. I'm gonna come back and explain a lot of this, I promise, as I go. But I haven't done a great job of taking care of myself from a mental health standpoint in my life. And so this is going to be my attempt to be better about that, is really what it comes down to. And so I'm going to use this video blog to talk about my life and just kind of say things that sometimes I need to say, even if nobody's listening. It doesn't matter. I have to be able to say things. And I think that there might be a few folks out there that might find some of this interesting, especially if you struggle with mental health or if you're even interested in it or whatever, or maybe just for voyeuristic reasons. I have no idea. Anyway, I feel kind of stupid with all of this, if we're being 100% honest, but I'm going to do it anyway because I promised myself that I was going to start taking my health more seriously. And this is the first step in that. So let me start with the easy stuff. My name is Bill Corey, and I have clinically diagnosed anxiety and depression. And now I'm not saying that as a leading thing because that's going to be the entire focus of this, whatever this is. I'm saying it because it's an important thing for me to get out there right away because it will inform a lot of the things that I talk about in the future. I suspect it's going to be the sort of thing where when you know that about me, then a lot of other things maybe will come into a little bit clearer focus. But let's start with things that are a little bit more fun, just so you get to know me. I am a self-employed DJ. I work as a karaoke host, primarily in bars in southeastern Wisconsin. I am also an avid board gamer. I play a lot of board games, modern board games. If you are thinking to yourself, ooh, he really likes Monopoly, well, then that's a start, but not even a little bit close, if we're being 100% honest. At the end of the day, I don't really like Monopoly is what I would call a mass market board game, and I play what are called hobby board games, which are usually by smaller publishers than things like Hasbro, smaller print runs, and generally more, and I really want to avoid sounding elitist here, but more intellectually challenging than the games that folks typically buy at Walmart and Target. Now, and that's not fair either because some hobby games have started to make their way into those markets. But anyway, it's hobby board games. If you don't know what hobby board games are after that description, maybe I didn't do a good job. I have no idea. And like I said, I have no idea if this is going to be of interest to anybody. But if you don't know enough about it, I don't know. There's a lot of podcasts out there. You can go to boardgamegeek.com. It's not my favorite website in the world, but it is probably the most definitive database of board game information out there. But anyway, I'm just kind of giving everybody a baseline here. So I'm sorry, I'm rambling a little bit because I'm really nervous about doing this. This feels like this is one of those things, okay, where I know I need to do it, but that doesn't make it easy or fun or calm. This is going to be a very tense thing for me for a while, and I'm hoping that if I can just build up some inertia and keep doing it, it will get easier. I don't really know if that's the case, but it is what it is. I may even start live streaming this instead of just recording it, but I don't think I want to do that, at least at first. And the reason why is because I don't want to be distracted with people. I'll probably do some live stream stuff if there seems to be any interest. It'll really just matter on whether this seems like a thing that people want to watch or if this is just something I'm doing for myself. And so let me hammer on that again. This is for me. It's not really important what other people think about what I'm doing. This is because sometimes I just need to talk and say things, and I need to do it in a way that I feel like I can freely express myself, and I need to do it in a way where I don't feel like I have certain standards that need to be met in order to say what I need to say. I don't expect all of that to make sense, but it feels right, so I'm going with it. And that's one thing that you're going to learn if you watch these videos, is that sometimes I'm going to say things that sound right to me, and that's going to be my guiding star, and I just don't know what to tell you if you don't understand. So that's cool. So let's see, I covered this. I'm a karaoke host. I'm a DJ. I do weddings and corporate events and stuff like that too, but that's definitely not my focus. I also am a board gaming enthusiast. I do board gaming media creation. I do a weekly YouTube show on my other channel, called the Cubist Podcast. That's a weekly discussion-based show where we talk about the modern board games, new stuff that's coming out, old stuff we've rediscovered. We do deep dives where we talk about games that have been around for a while and that we really enjoy. Whatever. That's really cool. That one is live streamed every Monday night at 9 o'clock Central. So if you want to check that out, go for it. If you're not into games, it's probably not going to be of interest to you, but you're welcome to go check it out. I'm also a contributor on a bunch of other podcasts, including one called Low Player Count, another one called What Did You Play This Week podcast thing. I do a lot of side work. I do voiceover work occasionally. I've done the voice for an upcoming independent film called The Princess Knight. That's still kind of in post-production at this point, if I recall correctly. And I've done voiceover work for community theaters, and I've done on-stage work and whatever. Anyway, I do a lot of different things. It's one of the advantages of being self-employed, right, is that you can have your fingers in a lot of different pies. Oh, man, this is really hard. This is nervous. I don't know how the Vlogbrothers do this. Yeah, so anyway, the reason that this is happening, like I kind of said this before, and I'm sorry if I'm rambling a little bit. I'm definitely rambling a little bit, and I'm sure that this is not the most interesting thing in the world, but I guess I don't really care, is that I want to be able to discuss things that I think folks don't discuss. Like Boogie2988 is a fantastic video creator who talks a lot about his anxiety and depression issues and his weight issues and stuff like that. And he's fantastic. John Green of the Vlogbrothers has been very open with his mental health issues, and he's fantastic. And there's a lot of really great guys. But there's still sort of that weird stigma that never quite goes away about some life stuff, just life stuff. And I don't know, maybe somewhere along the way somebody will stumble across one of my videos and it'll be helpful. I really have no idea. And that's just the God's honest. I don't know. So, anyway, there's your baseline, right? Anxiety. I was talking with a friend of mine today, a fantastic gay man, and I have to say that because it's relevant to the conversation. Fantastic gay man named Don. And we were talking today about how there are certain things in life that you can't ever adequately explain and have people really understand what the hell you're talking about. Like, as a heterosexual man, it is nigh on impossible for me to really understand what it's like to be a gay man. I cannot empathize with the nature of my friend's sexuality. And I can support him, and I absolutely do, and I support gay rights in every way, but I can't understand the actual way to live. It's impossible for me to really understand that because you can't be inside somebody else's head. And I told him, when I was talking to him about it today, I said that I feel the same way about anxiety, that when you have anxiety, you want to tell people, and you want people to be supportive, and you want to be able to express things because you need them to understand where you're coming from and why you react the way that you do to certain stimuli in the world. But it's kind of impossible to really get people to grok exactly what anxiety is like because you can't give them that same feeling. It's not the same thing as being nervous before you take a final exam, and it's not the same thing as stage fright, and it's not the same thing as being worried about It is similar to all of those things at points, but it's not the same thing ever in total. And the fact that it's not the same thing makes trying to explain it to folks that don't suffer from anxiety really challenging, at least for me. And let me be really clear about one other thing. I am not going to, I never intend to come off like some sort of official spokesperson for anything, right? Not for board gaming, not for karaoke, not for anxiety sufferers, nothing, okay? I'm just me. I'm just a guy who's talking about stuff, and maybe people will relate to it and maybe they won't, and that's okay. I have no idea exactly how. I don't have any of the answers. I quite often only have a bunch of questions. And so when I talk about this stuff, I'm not speaking for a community. I'm speaking for myself, and I'm trying to explain where I am with things and how I feel. So anyway, when Don and I were talking, I'm sorry, I'm all over the map. This is much harder than I thought it was going to be. When I was talking to Don, I said, you can't explain to me what it's like to be a gay man. I can't explain to you what it's like to have clinical anxiety. We can try, and you have to keep trying. You have to keep saying things because, A, someday you might stumble across the actual explanation that'll make it all make sense to everybody, in which case, holy shit, you've done something amazing that will maybe help future generations or whatever. I mean, who knows? That's kind of grandiose, but you have to keep trying to explain it, but you also have to accept the fact that you're never going to do a great job. And this is where being an ally, there's so many ways that you're supposed to say things nowadays, and I'm bad at all of them. This is where being an ally can be so challenging, right? Because my girlfriend can't exactly understand what anxiety is like. She would love to, and she tries, and we try to have conversations about it, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of aspects of this that she will never exactly understand because she can't, because it's physically impossible for her to understand the feeling, just like it's impossible for me to understand my friend Don and his sexual preference. But we have to keep trying, and I do keep trying with Molly, and her, as being an ally means sometimes accepting the fact that you don't understand things, I think, and being able to accept that fact and also accept that it's okay that you can't completely understand as long as you keep trying. God, I'm not saying any of this perfectly. And that's going to be a recurring theme through all of these things, but I'm going to keep doing it anyway. And I don't really care if people don't like it. I know that I expressed on Twitter a couple days ago that I was thinking about doing this, and I got a lot of support from people that said that even no matter what the reaction is, I got to keep doing it. And that's just how this is going to be. So I am going to try and keep these to 15 minutes because otherwise I could just sit here and ramble forever. But I feel like maybe I'm trying to just kind of give you a baseline so that way you know who I am, in case you decide to start watching this, and if this is something that you want to pursue, you have to have somewhere to start. So here it is. The one thing that I do want to say really fast, and I'm just going to throw this in at the end, and this is going to come off like a throwaway, and I don't mean it that way, is this. We have to be able to talk as grown-ups. We have to be able to have civil conversations about the tough things in life. And that's part of why I'm forcing myself to do these videos, because if we can't force ourselves to have grown-up conversations about the tough things, and we can't force ourselves to deal with this stuff, nothing's ever going to get any better. And this applies out in the world. It applies in your personal life, whatever. If you can't face your problems, you never conquer them. So this is me facing my problems in the only way that I know how. I hope that you have a fantastic day. Oh, that's the other thing. I have started 3 different resolutions, and I do want to mention these before I forget because I'm going to use this video as an accountability format for these 3 resolutions. My 3 resolutions are: number 1, I'm going to work out 3 days a week, and I'm going to a place to work out. So this is not going to be like, oh look, he's doing 12 sit-ups and great. I couldn't do 12 sit-ups. My life depended on it right now, but it's I'm going to the fitness center inside my friend's apartment building and working out with him 3 days a week. Number 2, I'm giving up soda entirely. I might buy a soda stream and I will allow myself to use that as the fix, but and I will allow myself to have soda water or sparkling water, but no more Pepsi and Coke products. Period. I'm done. And number 3, I am giving up McDonald's. I work nights, so it's hard. I get off of work at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm hungry because I haven't eaten all night. I've been working since 7, usually, something like that. And I might have had dinner, but then it's been 8 hours since then, and I'm starving. And then I've got, whatever. McDonald's is the only place that's open. I live in a fairly small town, so it's just been bad. And my weight is, my weight's always been an issue for me, but it's just been bad. So that's my accountability, my 3 resolutions that I've made. And by the way, day 1 successful in all 3 so far. I did work out today. Today was the first day, so I guess it's not an achievement, but you got to start somewhere. Did not have soda. Had 2 different opportunities. Went out for lunch with my friend and had the chance and ordered an unsweetened iced tea instead. And then number 3, obviously didn't have to go to McDonald's, so it was easy. It's not the work week yet, so that the McDonald's one is going to be tough later on in the work week. So anyway, I hope this is interesting. If it's not, cool. That's fine. If you have any questions or whatever, I guess you can leave them in the comments. I'm not going to focus a whole lot on that sort of thing. But if you're interested, leave a comment, whatever, that's fine. This is more for me than it is for anybody, but hopefully some of you out there will hear something that resonates with you. And anyway, all right, have a fantastic day, and I guess I'll see you all the next time I do one of these. The plan, I think, is to do 3 a week. I think it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, same days as my workout days. Tuesdays are busy for me. I might do Thursdays every once in a while. I don't know. We'll see. I am going to try and be on some kind of a schedule. I just have to see what's realistic yet. So anyway, have a great day, folks, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.